Hello, scaredy cats, it's me, Scaredy Matt. Psycho Goreman is not a movie that I'm making up. The more I talk about it, the more you're gonna think it's just a movie I'm trying to, through some dark arcane magic, attempt to manifest into existing. But I assure you, it is a movie that exists. A movie that was designed to please me in every way that it could. I don't mean that in a horny way. The way I just phrased it made it sound like a sex thing. It is not a sex thing. It's just a good movie. Just want to make it super clear. Not a sex thing. Let's just start this video over. I've done a bad job starting this video. Let's start it again. Hello, scaredy cats, it's me, Scaredy Matt. Psycho Goreman is not a movie that I'm making up. The more I talk about it, the more you're gonna think it's just a movie I'm trying to, through some dark arcane magic, attempt to manifest into existing. But I assure you, it is a movie that exists. A movie that was designed to be very entertaining for all audiences. A classic coming-of-age story, Psycho Goreman follows the adventures of young Mimi and her brother. While digging his own grave, Mimi's brother discovers a magical gem, which, once removed from its coffin, sets free an ancient and powerful evil, known as the Archduke of Nightmares. While Mimi possesses the gem, the Archduke has to obey her every command, and she renames him Psycho Goreman, PG for short, obviously. So, they go about the typical stuff you'd do in this kind of kids and magical creature type story. They teach him about love.
What is love?
You know, have you ever felt all warm and fuzzy about somebody?
Like when you rip out your enemy's spine and display it to their grieving family?
They form a band. He helps Mimi catch the eye of her crush, Alistair, in a very normal way.
I once used my dark magic to help the warlord of Zetonia seduce the Moon Princess. I can do the same for you if you wish.
Do it.
So be it.
Unbeknownst to them, though, a galactic council of wet puppets had sent a powerful warrior named Pandora to eradicate PG. Pandora is part of an organization called the Templars, a dogmatic race of religious zealots who seek to spread law and order across the galaxy by shackling it in perpetual servitude. The final battle between evil and worse evil has begun. And that's all I'm gonna say here about this story, because honestly, the story doesn't matter. You can kind of see how it goes without even watching. You probably know most of the major beats. It's just bits and jokes. Don't worry about the little story. What makes the movie worth watching is its complete and unerring dedication to the central gag. PG is never anything but this terrible monster being, and nobody ever bats an eye at all the horrifying things that he does, no matter how they escalate. Everything he does just keeps getting worse and worse, and people are just weirdly cool with it, and it never stops being funny. The whole movie is kind of half in, half out tone-wise, which is to say that it's both ironic and sincere simultaneously. The movie commits to being divorced from how any human being would react to the situation the characters find themselves in, but also has this genuine sweetness to it that really does not feel forced. It feels like it should feel forced, but it does come across as genuine. It's a very delicate balancing act. A lesser movie would become bogged down in the nihilism of everything, but this movie throws in enough goofy and cute shit to make it go down smooth. Just easy to watch. This movie makes big references to Phantasm and Wishmaster, so that alone was enough to get a recommendation from me, to be honest, because when they did those things, I was pointing at the screen and saying, I know those movies. I know those. I like those movies. Like, for real. There's a scene where PG goes, boy, in that Angus Scrimm type of way that Angus Scrimm would do it.
Boy.
And I was like, I wonder if that's a reference to your old Phantasms. And then, as the scene unfolds, it becomes clearer and clearer that, yeah, they were doing a Phantasm, baby. But on top of that, right? On top of that, this movie feels like a collection of things that I like to see, combining horror movies, Power Rangers, heavy metal, both the music genre and the film of the same name, psychedelia, sci-fi and high fantasy, horrific violence, and of course, some of the wettest puppets I've ever seen. They had a scene where the characters watched the movie Novaseed, which only I and like 20 other people even know about. It's tight, by the way. It's a feature-length animated movie made by one guy. Highly recommend. They threw in a cameo from Stuart Wellington from one of my favorite podcasts, The Flophouse, just because. This is the movie I see when I close my eyes. Watching this movie, I kept asking myself, do I only like this because I am me? Can I, in good conscience, recommend this to people who, for all intents and purposes, are not me? PG is the latest from Steven Kostanski, the madman who brought you Manborg, The Void, and of course, Leprechaun Returns. To be honest though, PG feels like I'm finally on his wavelength. Manborg felt a little too tongue-in-cheek, and The Void was way too sincere, but PG hits that sweet spot for me. I could, and might, watch it every day of my life. I don't have anything else to say, really. Normally I try to get these scripts to like 1,000 words at least, and right now I'm struggling to find anything more to say about this movie to convince you to watch it. Look at this. Look at this puppet. Look the fuck at this puppet right. Look at him. Look him in the eyes. If you don't want to watch this movie based on this puppet, fuck you. I don't need you in my life. You're toxic. Get out of here. Go watch Psycho Goreman. Do something with your life. What are you still doing here? There's no Bobby Duke. If you're waiting for Bobby Duke, it's not coming. Go watch Psycho Goreman. I mean it. He lied to you, it's me, Bobby Duke. I'm here to reward true believers. You didn't think I'd be in the video, but I am once again. For those of you that aren't familiar, if it's your first video watching here on Scaredy Cats, I'm the classic character that Scaredy Matt thought of when he was high on marijuana edibles. Listen! I have one job and one job alone. I'm here to tell you, you gotta like and subscribe to this channel. Let me tell you, if you like getting that premium horror content every Tuesday, then, there's no better place to get it. I mean, there's other channels. Honestly, there's other YouTube channels out there that I kind of prefer. Don't even bother with this one if I'm being honest. In fact, if you're already subscribed, why don't you hit the unsubscribe button? What could it hurt, That's me, Bobby Duke, using reverse psychology. Is this bit wearing thin yet? Is it? Because it feels to me like it is.